Please note that I am not critiquing this personally. I am critiquing it artistically. I have nothing against the actual creator of this cartoon series. So yeah, hey, it's me, Zach, and today, today I got a big subject to tackle. I'm going to be reviewing a series called TOME, Terrain of Magical Expertise by Gerbavoy! It's a 16-episode series. If you include the shorts, it's basically 17 episodes. There's also an episode labeled Episode 0, but that's basically just a regular episode. So that really means Episode 15 is actually Episode 16. Let's start off with how I found it, the origins section. I actually really liked this artist's flash animations when I was a kid. Emphasis on kid. He made stuff like Brawl Taunts, Parody Rangers. Either way, I was a happy little optimistic boy who loved everything this man produced. Then one day he made an animation called Super Mario Forest whatever. I watched it, but something felt off. It was like going through puberty for the first time, but on a more mental scale. Then I read through the comments section, and that's where I found a critique by SpazKid, another animator that I admired and still do. See that? That's a pretty yummy and happy critique. His response? Aw, that's nice. He appreciated it. Oh wait, never mind. He was being a smug cunt about it. And that's when I realized I hate Curver as an artist. I have a feeling I should say that. Just add in the little as an artist thing. Makes it a lot less personal. Either way, SpazKid put pretty heavy emphasis that Curb didn't put in a lot of effort into this. So what does Curbifer do? Make Tome Episode 1 with even less effort. I don't really expect a man who was banned from Titmouse Studios to make anything groundbreaking anyways. One thing I should say is that this story takes place in an MMO. Alright, let's keep on going. To the next section. Characters. Yay! First off, we got our main character, Alpha. He's not really a main character. The first episode kind of tricks you like that because he's really only the main character in about 9 of the 17 episodes, give or take how you see it. He's a shy boy, but he hits it off with the ladies pretty well. And his main character trait is that he was taken over by a virus. And I'm not talking about STDs. But seriously, I'll talk about that virus thing later. Also, his name is Michael. Oh yeah, spoilers! Every character is a self-insert of some kind. But that Curb himself said. Yeah, well, shut up. I'm totally gonna own you by proving you wrong. At the end of the series, you get to see all of the real-life counterparts in live action. Also, Curbifer's best friend is called Michael. I'll talk more about that later. Either way, they're all self-inserts. Except for the girl, she's totally made up and Curb just needs some Filipino girl to stand in for her. Because she has orange skin. Ah, fuck, that's racist. I meant the character in the animated series has orange skin. Wait, is there some unintentional racism in there? Either way, more about unintentional racism later. Luckily for Curb, little Karibo's Filipino cousin was in town, so he just took her for the final shot. Sorry I went off on a tangent there, but Alpha's kind of a blank slate, and there's not really much more to be said with him. Next up is the orange girl herself. Her name is Flame Girl. She's, good with computers and gets stalked around by a Mexican. That's all about it for her. Next, there's Game Crazed. He's all mysterious and then turns into a Celebi by the end of the series. Oh yeah, and the Celebi is a girl by the end too. Despite this being the only character to not have a live-action counterpart, this is also a self-insert in a way. GC's arc represents the voice actor's male to female transition. Nothing bad to say there except for the fact that I still hate self-insert characters. Next we have Nylok Dragunov having one hand on his Glock and the other on his cock! Quite possibly the best character on the show, mainly because he's the only character whose arc doesn't revolve around "Oh my, I'm so snarky and edgy, my angst!" He has a pretty good arc, but that arc pretty much ends by the end of Season 1. He kind of just hangs around for the rest of Season 2, except for one character moment in his fight against one of the game creators, which pretty much just finalizes his character. Next we got Herbivore! Yes, his name is the same as his handle that he's been using for many years now. But totally not self-insert, I swear! But anyways, Curvefur is an angry little weeaboo cunt who waves around a katana everywhere and argues with everyone all the time and hates it when people criticize him. Talking about the character, not the person himself. If you did think I was talking about the person himself, then you do agree with me that he's a self-insert. Also, he has an edgy alter ego named Zeto. He voices this character as well, and this leads into something I want to talk about next. And I can include it in this section because it's about the characters. The voice acting in this series is absolutely perfect. The voice actors do a really great job with the script they had to work with. Well, all except for Herbivore himself. All of his lines where he's screaming and all that just sound really forced. And when he voices funny moments, the delivery just comes off as someone thinking, this is totally gonna become a meme. More on this later. It also doesn't help him that talent-wise he's using his actual voice instead of using a voice like a character voice. And it doesn't help in the case of my claim that all characters are self-inserts, his especially. The rest of the characters I'll talk about in part 2 of this review, along with everything else. So, see ya.